5 damaging assumptions every employer should avoid. There are some assumptions that you, the boss, can make that seem like a good idea but can lose you great employees. As a result, you could be damaging your bottom line. Your staff are usually your biggest cost and always your biggest asset. Anything that stops you from getting the very best people is something you cannot afford to overlook. Here are a list of 5 things you should avoid. 1. Unemployed means less capable. Potential candidates are often told they are more desirable while in a position than if they are currently unemployed, with the exception of contractors, because of this stigma. You would think people never become unemployed for perfectly legitimate reasons. Companies downsize or go under. Departments are relocated to other towns or countries. People decide to take a career break to update their skills. Some have to care for loved ones, others walk away from situations that have become toxic. As such, a person's employment status should never be an automatic disqualifier, because their abilities aren't automatically linked to their current employment status. 2. The use of the word we. When you receive a CV that describes tasks the candidate performed using the word we, don't assume this means that someone else did the work or that the person wasn't the primary contributor. At times, the task being described cannot be carried out by one person. One way to mitigate this is to look at the other tasks the candidate describes and their CV skills to get a better idea of what they did by themselves and what was done by others. The ability to work with a varied team is a valuable skill that should not be dismissed lightly. 3. Too many short-term jobs means a person is unreliable. Short-term jobs may be contract roles. There are a number of reasons why people work contract jobs. Sometimes it's planned, and other times it's a function of the kind of work they do and the state of the market. A person may work a few short-term roles and still be looking for a great company to work with long-term. In my experience, people who are committed to contracting are not interested in a permanent job, even when the salary is way over market rates. People usually have a good reason for switching. It is worth hearing what they have to say on the matter. 4. Someone must be used to working in a particular sector to be good. You may be tempted to say you want someone who has previous experience in your sector, very common in finance and legal. The logic seems sound. If they've worked in my sector, they'll know how my type of company works, including the tools we use, and what conditions to expect. The problem is that most roles only differ slightly from sector to sector. For example, an exchange administrator in one sector will do more or less the same thing in another. The possible differences will be that in some sectors, they're more likely to require someone with experience in environments that require, which is different from wanting, almost no downtime and/or configuring disaster recovery. Focus on the job requirements and not that assumption. Remember, anyone with industry-specific experience had to have started working somewhere. 5. Deciding someone must have spent X years in a position to even be considered for a role. Not all experience is created equally. For some people, 2 years in a role is worth more than someone else's 5 years. A lot will boil down to the individual. Some people will coast along, doing the bare minimum to stay employed in a role, while others learn new skills and improve processes. A person may administer a stable system, while another has to troubleshoot and improve theirs. As a result, before you state a hard minimum number of years, maybe instead suggest a guideline for the recruiter and allow them to use their own knowledge and experience. There are more items I could list, but the idea is to avoid assumptions and judge every CV individually. A good recruiter you can trust really adds value to the process. Make sure they understand what the role requires and trust in them to find you the best available candidates. If they're any good, they won't send you a ton of CVs. You'll get a manageable amount worthy of your time and consideration, while avoiding the mistakes that are damaging in the long run. If you want to discuss this or anything else in more detail, Or if you need an IT recruiter capable of providing you with superior service, contact us on 020 3302 2628. That's 020 3302 2628. Or you can go to our website and fill out a form at www.sapientrecruitment.co.uk. Thank you.